What's good, folks? James Saydee Jr. Let's get to it. This is the exchange between Thomas Massie and Pam Bondi. Guys, I have to be honest. Pam Bondi's cooked. Her days are numbered. All the way from the beginning, when they had that little media mistake where they held the pamphlets of paper and lied and said, oh yeah, we have the Epstein files in our hands. Turned out that was a dud and everybody was upset. It's been downhill from there, guys. It has been down there from there. So right now, Thomas Massie, he destroyed her. Basically in regards to her failure to comply with the Epstein Files Act. They didn't believe that it was submitted within a timely fashion. They wanted limited redactions and they didn't believe she complied with that as well. So let's just go ahead and just dive in and let's just take a listen.
I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victims' lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking, Co-Conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm gonna unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking.
That's major, guys, that's huge. And the reason why that matters is because in regards to the redaction, the policy that they were supposed to follow was if somebody is redacted, they have to justify why they are being redacted. So some of the guidelines were if they were children, automatic redaction. If there were any women involved to protect their identities, they wanted redactions. And also, if it was an ongoing federal investigation, they were allowed to redact that as well, so as to not compromise the federal investigation. But if there are any other redactions, you have to justify it within the guidelines outlined for them. Otherwise, explain why they are being redacted.
Not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over-redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know?
Sheesh.
Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you?
So again, he's arguing that the redactions were selectively executed. There's no rhyme or reason. It doesn't make any sense. In fact, we want you guys to explain your rationale. But when we try to search up in your databases anything regarding these people, we're finding nothing. So he's saying they're selectively executed in terms of redactions, and there's no rationale behind it. Pam, what are you doing?
Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
You're supposed to redact the
I
children.
believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on. Let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr. Chairman. This isn't how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from
All
Kentucky.
right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So
Yes.
I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman,
Because I
may I
have
give
another
my
question.
answer on that?
Here's
It's a political
the question.
joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his
Chairman,
next question.
it's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question.
You can give
Within
me-
40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes
You
of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
and we invited
what?
you
Show
in.
the video.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get. You're a failed politician.
Oh my. All right. Ooh, shots are thrown. Obviously, we understand in the media age, this is political theater, but I think the Epstein files, this is like the most serious conspiracy to ever be proven true in my lifetime. There are a lot of things like 15 years ago that are labeled as far-right conspiracies. If you were to actually believe this, when it was only like Alex Jones discussing there's an island where they're trafficking children and all the elites in Hollywood celebrities party and do A, B, and C, you were labeled a far-right conspiracy theorist. They might as well just put a tinfoil hat on your head. To see this actually come to the light of day in my lifetime, I didn't even think this was going to happen. I didn't think we accelerated this far. With that being said, the Epstein files, I believe, are the most important conspiracy to be proven true of my lifetime. So all of this is absolutely of the umpteenth importance, especially when children are involved. I think it's incredibly serious. So Thomas Massie, I know Republicans do not like him because he seems like he's towing the line. But in this regard, he's right. This is absolute lunacy. The children are supposed to be redacted. That was a given. And you're redacting a sex trafficker for no reason, with no rationale behind it. So we understand that.
Gentlemen,
You need to
time
get
I
on
want you to
these
watch the video.
matters.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the
himself,
rules here.
there is
Time.
no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
She's
I'm
obviously
in
reclaiming
all
my
the
time.
last
I'm
4
glad you're
years?
asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because this
time when
is
you don't-
bigger
when
than
you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the
this
way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
now,
where the
I want to
most
know at
transparent-
what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it
Time is
back on
up.
the screen,
His time is up. So
to
what?
release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has
Which,
expired.
may she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it,
Oh, God.
and you were one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Guys, I get it. The administration, whatever their party affiliation is, that's in the White House usually loses the midterm. We are for sure losing the midterm, guys. Oh, we are cooked. We are cooked. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the fact that they didn't want to deal with the Epstein files, the fact that Biden, the whole Biden thing where they were hiding his cognitive decline. Oh man, we cooked them during Trump's campaign. Those were great times. But right now, the way we are looking now, it's bad. Oh man. But I just want to say this time is different because they're coming for revenge. They're already pushing for redistricting everywhere. They're already trying to flood the Supreme Court with their lifetime liberal judges. Oh, you think it's bad now? with Ketanji Brown Jackson. Oh my gosh. They're going to reinstate Roe v. Wade, and they're going to make it ironclad. They're coming in, and they're getting revenge. Oh, they are ready. And I think this is just absolutely embarrassing. We wanted the Epstein files all throughout Biden's administration, and they didn't give it to us. And we know they didn't give it to us. And we were the ones that were supposed to release it to the public. This is why liberals are running away with this, saying that we're protecting the pedophiles. There's no rhyme or reason for you to redact him. Why did you do that? And then you released all the kids. Oh, man. That was such a huge blunder, you guys. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That's basically the end of it. This was an evisceration from Thomas Massie, who I'm not really a fan of, but hey, whatever. He got the W in this one. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, gosh. Deuces.